G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Paranormal and Cryptid Adventures. Today I'm bringing you a bit of a new twist on a video. It's something that's been bouncing around my head for a couple of months now, and it was inspired by a good mate of mine who knows who he is, who just asked a very innocent question. Something that I don't know if us Yowie, Bigfoot, Sasquatch researchers are asking. Seem to be carrying out this behavior and not really examining why. Now, the hope of this video, let's get this clear, is for someone to clarify the question for me, someone to answer this for me, and also, if there is no answer to it, then to start a conversation, start an important conversation. Why do all Yowie, Bigfoot, Sasquatch researchers search for tree structures? Why? Let's get this straight. This video and this little series of videos is all about the hard truths. It's all about asking the questions that researchers don't really like asking, for the simple reason that if you unravel that paradigm, then we're pretty much just standing in the bush waiting for a needle to drop into a haystack. And I believe that searching for structures brings us some kind of feeling of validity and almost control of the situation, where every time we go out we can find something. I honestly don't know why I started searching for tree structures. I know that there was some really good structures found in, I believe it's North America, on a channel that was good and is rubbish now. Unfortunately, there was some really good research going out in that way, and now it's gone stupid. Now, I'm not saying that structures that I found in the past that are absolutely appearingly not natural, that there's an energy to them, or all the little side stories that are attached. I'm not saying there's no validity to those claims. What I'm saying is that perhaps there's more going on up here than we want to admit. So why do we think Yowies create tree structures? Has a Yowie ever been seen in a tree structure? I don't believe so. Has a Yowie ever been seen building a tree structure? I don't believe so. Has there ever been direct evidence of a Yowie inside a tree structure? I don't believe so. I mean, there's a lot of internet, in the world, and I'm not saying I've covered it all, and there's a lot of books in the world, and I'm not saying I've read them all. And there's a lot of really good researchers who I 100% respect, trust, and believe in their research, who put credence into tree structures. And you know what? More power to them, more power to me, because I'm not completely convinced that the content of this video is valid. I mean, there's bugs and animals everywhere, so if I'm looking around, I'm just, keeping an eye on my surroundings. So what I'm saying is, we just need to question the narrative. Now, two things that make me question a lot of things. The first thing I'm going to mention is looking at our indigenous past, at least in this country anyway. As far as I'm aware, and I've got a few sources on this, and they will remain nameless sources, none of them have any input as to indigenous law or belief or anything of the sort that says that Yowies build tree structures. So there's that. Secondly, if you guys look back, old school fans of my channel will have probably watched it all. New fans, if I even have any, might want to go back and check it out. But long story short, I believe I'm having some kind of communication with a Yowie through a channeled medium. I'm not going to get into it now, but by all means, there's plenty of videos where we communicate with the Yowie on this channel. Go back and check them out. And in one of those channeling sessions, can't work out which one it is right now, I actually asked the question, do Yowies build tree structures or anything like that? And the response was no. I believe the question was phrased, do you build structures with trees? So whatever I am speaking to might not be Yowie, might be something else. But the answer that came back was a no. So, if Yowies did tree structures, you would think indigenous peoples would have some kind of documentation on it. If Yowies did tree structures, you would think that there would be somewhere in the world where they've been seen interacting with them. I believe the two biggest claims that about tree structures is that there's something to do with power and energy along that level. I've got a whole theory on that, which I'm not ready to release yet. If tree structures are legit, then there's every chance that they might have something to do with generating energies. I'll leave that one there for now. I'll do a separate video on that when I'm ready for it. And secondly, the old X markers. Allegedly territorial markings. My channeled communicated sessions suggest that they are markings for energetic places and that we're allowed to be in those areas. But what are the X markers? Again, are they simply, controversy alert, are they simply the most common structure that would accidentally be formed in the bush and we are really wanting to find things? I don't know. That's why I'm making this video. I want people to think about it. Now, it seems like these are not natural. It certainly seems that way because I'm in the bush right now. I've been in the bush a lot. I know what's natural and I know what's unnatural. And some of those structures that I've come across, there's no way they're natural. That does not mean that they're Yowies. Very, very important distinction. Heavy winds, storms, etc., flicking some trees around and creating some unusual coincidental structures is one thing. Saying it's unnatural and not done by that process is another. Do we automatically go that means it's a Yowie? No, there might be other things in the bush that we don't know about. It might be other humans. It might be a third factor. I'm putting the whole video out on that. But I'll just say that it's the most un-Yowie-ish explanation you could ever want. And feel like quite the party pooper even putting it out there. But the point of my channel is to be authentic, is to raise awareness, to raise understanding, and never, ever, ever lie about anything I found or anything I even think, any of my research methods and so on. So in the interest of that, the video that will follow this one in this kind of series or style, asks a big question that throws me for six quite regularly. And to be brutally honest, I've neglected that thought because it's party pooper thoughts. But someone's got to put it out there. I wouldn't be doing these videos, obviously believe in the existence of a Yowie. Obviously. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, all over the world, Yetis, wherever you are in the world, there seems to be at least folklore and myth, memories of such a being. Whether they were Gigantopithecus and they're no longer with us, whether it's interdimensional, whether it's energy beings, whether it's something else altogether. There's a lot of spiritual content out there, channeled content in the world that talks about these guys as, ancient inhabitants of Earth that have come from other places and all this really out there stuff that is probably even too out there for this channel. Point is, do I believe they exist? Yeah, absolutely. Do I believe with my heart of hearts they're making stick structures? Not yet. Do I believe it's possible? Do I believe I've found some weird things that fit this category? Absolutely. 100% I do. Do I believe in some of my... Do I believe that some of the stick structures seem to represent runic letters? Yeah, I do. Do I believe that maybe certain structures are made by certain Yowies and that's their calling card, so to speak? Yeah, I think that's a possibility. But again, all of this is me giving myself a purpose when I go out bush. It's a bit of a tough sell to say, right, I'm out in the bush Yowie researching and just bushwalking. So I wonder how many years back these stick structure discoveries go. Do they predate YouTube? I don't know. I want someone to tell me, because I've tried to find this information out, but there's only so much time that a father of three, full-time worker, husband, etc. has in his day to do researching. If I wasn't, I'm a school teacher in my other life, as most of you would be aware, and anyone who's a school teacher knows how much time that takes out of your life. Anyone who's a parent of 3 kids under 5 knows how much that takes out of your life. So, not to mention just living your life. So that's my postulation. That's my quandary that I'm presenting. Can we confirm that stick structures are a thing, that they predate YouTube, that there is some kind of historical understanding of these stick structures, Or are they something that's come in the last decade and a half to 2 decades, and that people with cameras like to feel good about themselves, myself included, when you say, look what I found? I don't know. Unnatural structures do exist in the bush. Who's building them? We'll have to keep exploring and finding out. Thanks for watching. This is just a talking episode with some pretty pictures and an ugly mug. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I got your brain cells ticking over. And to the unnamed mate of mine who posed that question to me, mate, you never stop challenging my curiosity towards these things. And for that, I'm always grateful. So let's start the conversation. I'll hit you up in the comments. Take it easy, guys. See you on the next video, where I will absolutely put a theory out there that really is quite sobering and boring and something most people just pretend they didn't think of. Check it out next time. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.